Hello, ladies and gentlemen, it's Mike here at Gamefromscratch, and we have a new game engine alert. Woo! When I say new, I actually mean it's like 23 years old, and has been used in a very successful title. You may know from the graphics on screen. By the way, is that Spike? It sure looks like Spike. This is from a company called Fenris Creations. Fenris Creations, you probably never heard of, and there's a reason for that. They were formed in 2026, but the game they're responsible for, you have heard of. That is EVE Online. You see, they were founded back in 1997 as CCP Games. Now, CCP Games was founded in Iceland, and then in 2003, they released EVE Online. Since then, they've had a very weird history. In 2006, they merged with White Wolf Publishing, the creators of Vampire the Masquerade, also the World of Darkness series of tabletop role-playing game stuff. They were creating online games using that IP. It didn't work out. They ultimately sold that off to Paradox in 2015. Yes, like the people behind Crusaders Kings, Battletech, and so on. And then in 2018, they themselves were acquired by Pearl Abyss. Pearl Abyss is a South Korean maker of MMO titles. The one that you have no doubt heard of was Black Desert Online. Well, that acquisition didn't work out that great either, and ultimately Pearl Abyss, for about half of the money they spent to acquire CCP Games, sold it back to the original management of CCP Games, where they formed it now as Fenris Creations. And that makes sense because CCP kind of has a different meaning these days, Chinese Communist Party. So they've switched their rebranding over to Fenris Creations. And they make, at this point in time, mostly EVE-based games. They've also got an extraction shooter in the works, EVE Vanguard, but the key things we're interested in today are EVE Online and EVE Frontier, because the game engine behind these two, or the game technology, probably more accurate, has been open sourced. So they're still developing EVE Online. It's just now the engine behind it, Carbon, which they call the engine and framework. So this is Carbon, next generation cross-platform game engine framework from Fenris Creations. And this makes sense. This is not a turnkey game engine like what you would expect from Unity or Unreal Engine. It is very much not that. I would actually argue at right now, other than to extract little bits and pieces of it for your own usage, you couldn't really use this game engine as it is, because you're just going to be missing so many pieces of how all of this stuff works together. But that is going to be fixed. We'll get back to that in just a minute. So this is a collection of game development technologies. Behind the scenes, they use Python heavily. So they do a lot of their client-side work and their server-side work in Python. So their back-end game engine bridges between the C++ or C base code on the back end and the Python layer there. So one of those things is the scheduler. So developed to provide stack lists like deterministic scheduling and channel messaging for coroutines, for predictable tasklet scheduling on C Python. So if you're wondering with Python stuff, that's why. They also released a spatial audio object clustering library here. But the key things here, the key parts of this Carbon engine are core. Core is the low-level C++ foundational stuff. This is memory management, threading, and so on, and it's done in a cross-platform way. So it interacts with the low-level hardware and operating system for you, and all the rest of the stuff is built on top of Core. There's also resources. This is for doing things like massaging data into the game engine, creating patches, that kind of stuff. I/O, which is a networking library, it's TCP and UDP communications. This is obviously very important to an MMO game, especially one that tries to have the number of players online, like what you see in a game like EVE Online. So the I/O layer is obviously very important, and you'll also notice there's a lot more Python going on here as well. Plus, there is the math layer or math library. And the cool thing here is this is a separate project. These are all open source projects, mostly under the MIT license. There's two of them that are under different licenses, but they're also open source licenses that let you use things commercially. So they're very liberal licenses in terms of that. And then we got a number of other pieces here as well. Trinity, this is the graphics engine at the heart of the visuals behind Carbon. We've got Destiny, which handles physics and pathfinding inside of Carbon. And then on top of that, we've got the UI layer, Carbon UI, Carbon IO, Carbon Audio, and then a scripting layer there. Again, everything is based on the Python programming language on the back end. But almost all of these frameworks and stuff that they've opened up are C++ that you talk to. They implemented the glue code, something called Blue, which is also available there as well. So that is Carbon. So it's not like a Unity or an Unreal or a Godot where you open up an editor and start making your games. In fact, I would argue without Eve code, you're going to have no idea what to do with this game engine. It's just the nature of the beast. In fact, this is implemented as a number of different repositories that are all open source. So again, core, this is your low-level stuff that everything else is built on. So the other parts of this engine are built on top of core. And you're going to notice, again, mostly all C++ based code. So these are things, again, memory management, memory tracking, file system access, process threading, time, string conversions, the stuff that you're just going to need. As I mentioned, Blue, this is the glue between Python and C++, so it allows for efficient exposure of C++ classes and functions to Python. The other aspect here, we've got Trinity. Trinity is the rendering layer there. The cool thing, once again, though, that you want to be aware of, everything here is most of the stuff here is MIT licensed. So if you are creating your own renderer, and you're just trying to figure out how to make things work, or if you're working on, say, the Godot engine or Flax or any other engine like that, and you want to start implementing some of this code in your own project, you can. That's the cool thing here. This is a battle-tested game engine that is being used to create, again, EVE Online, which has been a very successful title. That's the rendering layer for it there. We also got libraries here for like mesh, so 3D manipulation, animation, storage, image management tools. This is the simulation engine. So this is like their custom physics solutions and so on. And if you want to figure out how to use all this stuff, yeah, there is that. So you're going to find some documentation sprinkled throughout here. But not a lot. Just one of those things to be aware of. You're going to have a challenge figuring out how to make these things work, just so you know. So basically, it is a collection of tools. All those tools went together to create the games EVE Online and EVE Frontier. Now, I did mention a couple times that you're not going to be able to go anywhere with this as it stands right now. Fortunately, in the future, that should change. So there's this article here on GameIndustry.biz. That it was an interview with Ben Hunter from Fenris, and he talks about security concerns, LLM coding, help from Godot on how to structure the open sourcing, and so on. He kind of walks through why they did this, what they're going to get out of it. The key thing here is this isn't about making money. It's about garnering actual interest from people, so they want to invest their time, their effort, their money into contributing something. There's a belief that a rising tide lifts all ship. If we improve the code and we can all benefit from it, it is good for everyone. But the thing you're going to want to know is ultimately, if we scroll on all the way down here to testing in the wild, looking forward, Fenris Creations is going to be developing Carbon in the open. So they're still using this for EVE. This isn't a matter of technology that's been thrown away by the developer. They're still going to keep working with this. Probably the most similar thing is like the Dagger engine from War Thunder. They still use it for War Thunder. They're still going to be using this for EVE, and you can contribute back to it and so on. Biggest thing we'll be putting a lot more scrutiny in is bigger architectural changes that we make. That's something we now have to much more consideration with the game team, because we want them to do their own testing of that as well. But the key thing is this paragraph right here, at least in my humble opinion. The other, which we will definitely change now, is we are seeing the need to create a test project. I don't want to call it a game, but it's an example game that is more for the testability and understanding the architecture and getting started quickly in the engine. That's another thing that's changing a lot. We, as the core tech group, will have to create that test example that will become our test space, which will be our example project. Right now, when we make changes to the engine, they have to jump into EVE or EVE Frontier and then try to test in those game examples. Well, you trying to use this framework without having EVE or EVE Frontier to actually test with, good luck. So what they're doing is creating this simplified example test project, which shows you how to create a game using Carbon. And once this is available, this project becomes a lot more useful for people that potentially want to create games using Carbon going forward. You can think of this as sort of self-documenting. So this is the thing I think a lot of people are going to be waiting for. But in the meantime, you can easily jump in and take a look at the code. Again, it is mostly open source. And the cool thing here is, again, they've got math libraries here as well, that you can just, if you need math or pathfinding, this is how to find routing data over their math libraries. Math expression parsers, math library right here, basic math for vectors and matrix maths and so on, all available here. So there is a bunch of stuff that is available to developers here that if you are making your own game engine, this is a gold mine of logic, of information available to you. It's just, this is not even close to a turnkey game engine. For if you don't work at Fenris and you don't have a familiarity with the code base. But once that minimalistic test game is available, then that will open up the doors to a number of other people. So ladies and gentlemen, that is Fenris Creations have open sourced the technology behind EVE Online and EVE Frontier. Again, you've got all the core bits, the I/O bits, the render, the physics, and all that. They're all there. It's just how do we put all those pieces together to create a game? That part is a challenge. But if you're just interested in seeing how other people do stuff, jump on in, take a look. So Carbon is a very interesting project, now completely open source, mostly under the MIT license. Let me know what you think. Comments down below. I'll talk to you all later. Goodbye.